Hey guys, welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Let's make our way out of here now. I think we picked everything up. At least everything we can spot anyway.
Godspeed.
I was never good at stealth, but I'll try.
Okay. There's Jeribeth.
Let us press on.
Let's set up over here. You discover Jeribeth engrossed in a task. She is holding a locust between two delicate clawed fingers, one of the locusts that previously comprised Xanthia Vang. And you watch as she slowly pushes a needle into its body. The demon observes the locust convulsions with fascination. This will require a lot of work to preserve this beauty. It is remarkable that such a thoroughly vile activity can be performed with such mesmerizing skill and finesse. Sela's eyes narrow in Camelia's direction, and in a casual tone she asks, "There is something captivating about it, isn't there?" Camelia falls silent for a moment, then shrugs. Her pensiveness shifts to an impeccable icy calm. I wouldn't call such a repugnant spectacle captivating, but it is undoubtedly useful. It is essential to have a clear understanding of how brutal your enemy is. You did as you promised, Crusader, but you do know that making deals with demons is a losing game, yes? Lucky for you, I enjoy playing mortal so much that I will keep up the act and fulfill my part of the bargain. Ask me a question, I will answer. Okay. Tell me everything you know about Nahindrium crystals and the ritual that is being used to enhance the demons. I'm not sure. Ooh. Attack could be interesting, but yeah, I think I'll go for the Nahindrium crystals question. Zanedra could be useful as well, but let's go with this one. Oh, I can tell you a lot about that. I've gone through the ritual myself. When I return to the Abyss, I will destroy the memory. That feeling of incredible helplessness and pain, horrifying pain. The crystal is not like an ordinary magic potion you may have encountered before. Changes a demon's very essence, their soul if you like. It changes you entirely. But you're hardly interested in my trials and tribulations. Listen, the crystals are brought here directly from the Abyss, from the Midnight Isles, the realm of Lady Nocticula, with her permission and approval. Zamira, the daughter of Lord Baphomet, oversees the shipments herself. Xanthia has always been in charge of the transformations, but he was not the one who devised the ritual or discovered the crystal's properties. The architect taught him that. She, Arueshalae Vorlesh, is unbearably arrogant. She thinks she has the right to push real demons around, so don't think that you've solved this problem for good. Sooner or later, Arueshalae will share the secret of the ritual with another. And demons more powerful than you will inundate the lands of the Whirlwind once more. I promised to answer your question, and I did. Now the only thing standing between me and control of the Ivory Sanctum is you.
Defeat is not an option.
Okay, so she fights us anyway. That's fine. Okay, demons from the Ivory Sanctum are no longer a threat to the Crusaders. The source of their power has also been revealed. Nahindrium crystals. How this knowledge will be of use, only time will tell. Alright. Just an extend meta magic rod. Okay then. I guess we are done now. Time to head back home, I suppose.
We march ahead.
Okay. On the way back to Dresden, we got dragged into some kind of encounter, so I didn't actually realize that Ennio had died, so let's bring her back. Hopefully we can.
These magics
Oh, we
should
can't
be
use
used
that.
in other
Alright.
ways.
Where is Resurrection? There it is. Okay, there we go. Has anyone lost their levels? Yes, Social has. Land does not have a lost level now. Okay, so let's also do a greater restoration. Yeah, we can afford the diamond dust. Right, we got that level back finally. Okay,
Guide us.
let's see what this event is all about. Oh, there's Forn Autumn Haze. Before you, exhausted and seated on the ground, is none other than Forn. He looks up at you in surprise. Commander, I wasn't expecting to see you here. It appears my luck hasn't run out just yet. May I ask for your help? You notice a sizable amount of blood pooled by his legs. A belt is tied around one leg below the knee, but that doesn't appear to have stopped the bleeding. Talking can wait. We need to help the wounded first. I can take care of him. Let's assess his wound. Forn has lost a lot of blood. Judging by the pool around his boot, he should have collapsed into unconsciousness long ago. He must be a truly resilient fighter. Forn's strength has failed him at the worst possible time. He has stopped it to rest in the middle of an open area where a deadly arrow may come flying from any direction, and anyone approaching him to help will likewise be in danger. What are you doing here? I was tracking Kaylessa and found her lair not far from here. Again we fought, and again she was able to wound me. She is following my trail here as we speak. Find this all very suspicious. He can't be trusted. An elf seems to have appeared out of thin air. She shoots Forn a hateful glare. This is a trap. Forn is an assassin of the Winter Council, and he's come here to kill you. Grabbing his weapon, Forn shouts out forcefully, "Watch out! She's stronger and deadlier than she looks. Slay her before she kills us both." A trap? What are you talking about? His wound is just for show. He's unharmed and full of strength. His goal is to lure you in so his cronies can attack you. I bet they're hiding nearby, waiting for the right moment. Kaylessa surveys the seemingly barren landscape suspiciously. Forn chuckles coldly. An ambush? Who is lying to us? Her or our own eyes? Why would Forn want to kill me? He's a cold-blooded assassin sent by the Winter Council. That cabal of scumbags dispatches him whenever it needs an inconvenient truth covered up. And as for anyone unlucky enough to learn such truths that might sully our people's good name, well, he washes it all away with their blood. Forn mutters, his face scrunched up in contempt. Another lie. Will you ever tire of your deceit, accursed wretch? Why did you decide to intervene? You spared me. Let's say I'm repaying my debt. She gives you a stony look. Or do you think that since I'm a drow, I don't know the meaning of honor? I believe, Kaylessa. Forn, your deception ends here. Forn rises to his feet. His movements make it obvious that his injured leg was nothing more than a ruse. That is a shame. If you just believed me, this would have been over more quickly and less painfully. It's unlikely that my associates will grant you an easy death now. Not hiding his contempt, Forn nods in the direction of the dark elves that have appeared out of the shadows. Who do you really serve? I serve my people and no one else. Being an elf is not just a privilege, it's an obligation that I bear with honor, no matter how heavily it may weigh on me at times. Liar, you serve a pack of unscrupulous scumbags, a clique of self-righteous schemers. In order to protect their lives, you murder the innocent, and then you hide behind words like duty. Why did you ask for my help in your hunt for Kaelessa? I would have preferred not to have involved you in this matter and to put her to death myself. Then I wouldn't have had to kill you as well, Forn sighs quietly. But after my first clash with Kaelessa, I realized I didn't have the strength. Thus, I decided to use you instead, and I provided some motivation. I set up those skirmishes with the drow so that my words would seem more plausible. I regret that I had to stoop to such baseness, but even more, I regret that it was unsuccessful. Can't we talk this out? I'm afraid not, Commander. We can't, alright? I don't think we really need to ask these, although I guess since he's not a drow, we can ask him. How could you ally yourself with a drow? Are you a demon worshipper? I did not seek this perverted alliance, yet it was inevitable. These extreme circumstances forced me to end your life. Anamora also sought your death, so joining forces was mutually beneficial. If things were different, I would be the first to rise up against her, but it just so happens that you have suddenly become a greater threat to my nation than she is. The Winter Council believes that honor is the perfect shield against any accusations of ignominious acts. Alright, time to fight. I'm sorry for having to do this. Believe me, I take no pleasure in carrying out this order, but circumstances are stronger than our desires. So I guess, yeah, we had to go to finish Ivory Sanctum to progress this quest. Okay, let's use Storm of Justice here. And let's do another one. Even in the face of death, Forn maintains his melancholic tranquility. I knew I would die like this, on the edge of the world, defending the threads of nobility that weave my race into a single glorious nation. Well, at least I do not die in vain. Whose orders are you following? You think that since I'm at death's door, I will reveal the secrets of my superiors? You're mistaken. I, and others like me, know how to make our hearts stop beating before any treacherous words can spill from our mouths. I will remain loyal until the end. Aren't you ashamed of... I doubt that he would be ashamed. Just die already, backstabbing wretch. Forn closes his eyes and a quiet, peaceful breath escapes his lips. His chest stops heaving and the fingers he had wrapped around his weapon girdle. There's a deep bitterness in Kaelessa's voice. He even managed to die gracefully despite being a complete scoundrel. Can I finally get an explanation as to what just happened? Forn wasn't a dark hunter, he was just a hunter. He served the Winter Council, a powerful elven organization. It wants me dead because I've learned of a very dark secret. That's why they sent Forn to kill me. And everyone I could potentially have told about it, meaning you, soldier. The Winter Council, what sort of organization is it? The Winter Council is a legend, but few doubt its existence. It's said to be a clique of influential elves of Kiernan, a mysterious group that watches over the interests of elvenkind, protecting them by any means necessary. Murder, espionage, blackmail, no tool is excessive for them if the reputation and honor of the elven nation are at stake. When I decided to tell the world the truth about the Dark Fate, the bane of our kind, I signed my own death warrant in the eyes of the Winter Council. They don't want elves to be tarnished by their association with the ignoble drow. They're too scared of being held responsible for the crimes of their dark cousins. It's better to hide this dangerous truth and destroy everyone who knows it. Tell me about yourself, the whole truth. I was born in Kiernan in the blessed forests of the elves. I was different back then, pure and noble, but no matter how beautiful and fair Kiernan was, it had its share of injustice, cruelty, and crimes committed with impunity. And I never could stand crimes going unpunished. I joined the Sunset Wasps, a secret sect of vigilantes dedicated to Callistria. By the night we would bring justice to those whom the law had failed to punish, liars, traitors, molesters, murderers. But the further we went, the more our doubts grew. We asked ourselves, how reliable was the information we were getting? Could there have been any mistakes? Alas, it was too late. The whole time we were puppets in the hands of a priestess of Discari by the name of Anamora. That monster had been toying with us, using us to kill innocents. The wasp was revealed to be a locust, and we were unmasked as criminals, outcasts. We were wanted and had nowhere to turn. The only option was to bend the knee to Anamora, who promised us protection. I was the only one who refused, but I was captured and taken by force. Then, under Anamora's watchful eye, our apprenticeship began. We did dark, horrible things, bathing in violence and spite. Myself included, I did them too. At first I was controlled by magic, then they broke me, and the Dark Fate, the curse of our people, took us one by one until it finally embraced me as well. When I saw the monster I had become, I mustered what remained of my will and fled. I wanted to tell everyone the truth. Tell them how we were caught in the demon's trap, let the world know about the Dark Fate, but Anamora's hunters, my former comrades, they came for me, and they weren't the only ones, as it turned out. Tell me more about Anamora. She is a true drow, one who never was a normal elf, and even among drow she's a dangerous monster, the deadliest of Discari's servants. Fear her. Her flesh nurses swarms of terrifying creatures, and her mind. I've learned the danger of her guile firsthand. What's the Dark Fate? It's been assumed since time immemorial that the drow are either a degenerate branch of our kind or an abhorrent perversion, a mockery fostered by the dark gods. But the truth is that the chasm between the elves and the drow is much smaller than one might think. Any elf can become a drow, absolutely anyone. Whenever an elf commits unthinkable evil, letting darkness into their heart, they may one day transform. The Dark Fate is a state of the soul of an unrepentant malefactor who detests the light. An elf like that is no different from a drow, both in appearance and in spirit, and thus they become a drow. Kaletha smiles mirthlessly. Her face shows the immense fatigue of the months of wandering, fighting for survival. Such cruel irony. The elves were trying so desperately to convince everyone that they have nothing to do with the drow, the most vile horrid race in the world, and it turns out that the distance between a normal elf and a drow is but a single step. So what now? Now I'll ask one last favour of you. I still have friends left in Kiernan, real friends, ones I can trust. Send a letter to Avanara, to the leader of the Border Defenders, recount my tragic tale so it doesn't die as the Winter Council wants it to. Since I won't have the chance to speak the truth myself. Because you will have to end my life now, soldier. She looks at you calmly, wearily. There is neither threat nor fear in her words, only a plea for an acceptance of the inevitable. Maybe my mythic powers can return you to the path of light. Your curse can't be irreversible. Deep-seated fear appears on Kaletha's face. No more. I've already been changed once, and I won't let anyone do it to me again. Even if you want to save me, I know that I would sooner slit my own throat than allow my soul to be reshaped once more. You can't give up. Don't listen to us, dude. Even when the wounded beg for death, a healer must keep fighting for every life. I've endured enough fighting, cleric. Thank you for your heartfelt words, but this case is incurable. Pray for me and let me go to Pharasma in peace. What if you can still be saved? If there's a dark fate, could there be a light fate? Maybe good deeds could heal you. With a bitter smile, Kaelessa shakes her head. A light fate? Wouldn't that be nice? But no, no such blessing exists. The road into darkness goes only one way, and I've almost reached its end. The dark impulses in my heart have been growing stronger by the day. It's been getting harder and harder to remain myself, to resist the urges. I've spent all my strength. When I saw Forn dying, I almost howled in delight. I want to dig my nails into his face, gouge out his eyes, mangle him, and rejoice. It's not me anymore, it's the beast I've been turned into, and it will break free very soon. These are the last minutes of the old Kaelessa's life. Please don't delay and spare me the fate of becoming a monster. Why do you seek death? The dark fate is claiming me. I can feel the malevolence and the hatred in my heart growing fiercer with each day that passes. The memories of the crimes I was forced to commit are clouding the world before me. I refuse to tread this path any further, to turn into a monster. If you have any mercy, I beg of you, kill me and end my torment. With eyes downcast, Camellia says demurely, if that is her final wish, it must be granted. Help her go on her own terms. Evil, okay. I think that means allowing Camellia to indulge her thing, but that's evil, so I don't think we should go for that. We'll do it for her. I'm sorry. Goodbye, soldier. Okay. That's the end for the Kaelessa storyline, I guess. Quite a few items. Kaelessa even has some gear. Draumagus. River of cold iron ammunition, okay. Alright, looks like we're done. Okay, there's more loot apparently. Alright, none there.
Let us press on.
And I guess that's it. Right, let's head off. The resonant voice of the majestic angel rings out through the hushed streets of Dresden. You hear his words from afar. They concealed it right under our noses, and without Xanthia's notes, that incarnation of corruption, even I would not have been able to locate the barrier. Surely the herald of the inheritor can rid us of this scourge. It is impossible, righteous one. I cannot do it alone. But wait, I hear the steps of one who brings hope. Greetings, champion. We meet again. Valiant Irabeth and I have been discussing a new calamity that has befallen us, specifically this. The angel gestures toward a symbol on the paving stones. The ivory sanctum held a dark secret. Directly beneath Dresden, in the bowels of the earth, there lies one more bastion of the demons, the Midnight Fane. It is the repository of a mighty rift through which the spawn of the abyss traveled to Golarion. The entrance to this place is right in front of us, blocked by a barrier that is accessible only to demons. So this is where Minago fled to, and where all the demons in the city have been coming from. They can pass through the barrier freely, but we can't, and it doesn't just stop us, it injures us too. It is much worse than that. The barrier is imbued with enormous power. An attempt to break through will trigger a magical explosion. I could protect you in the city from it, but even my powers will be insufficient to hold back the chaos and open the way. This is what disturbs me most. We cannot allow the demons to rebuild their armies and plot their next attack right below the sacred heart of the crusade. Xanthia Vang told me about this demonic barrier. I encountered similar barriers in Aurilu Vorlesh's laboratory. I have a key that can break through the barrier. All you have to do is protect us from the blast. I'm impressed I am impressed by your many gifts, champion. Together we shall open the passage and protect the city, and then we shall burn the Midnight Fane with the cleansing fire of righteousness. But first we must gather our strength. I shall send word to Queen Galfrey. Her help may be necessary when we reach that dark bastion of the abyss. The Queen will heed my call and arrive quickly within a month. You must use this time to prepare to attack the Fane. Answer a few of my questions before I leave. Ask your questions, I'll be glad to answer. It seems that I caused the Sword of Valor to change. Blood from the wound on my chest fell onto the banner end. Okay. That means this mysterious wound is a mark of valor given to you by my mistress, setting you apart from all the rest, champion. Are you sure this wound is a gift from Iomedae? No, I could be mistaken and unable to perceive the full truth. The inheritor's thoughts are hidden from me, for I am but her hand. I do not test her will with my doubts, nor crave answers to my questions. I simply trust and serve, but I know that if your body had been harmed by malevolent fiends, my goddess would have extended her mercy to you and healed you. Why did the goddess bestow this wound on me? Because this world of yours, champion, is bleeding, and my lady's chosen one carries a crimson mark as a sign of the great suffering borne by mortal kind. The scarlet drops on your breast. They are the blood of all the martyrs and all the innocents. That's how I see it. Can you heal me? Defy my lady's will? It pains me, but I must refuse you, champion. If you are suffering from this affliction, it must be part of the inheritor's design. The pain serves to remind you of the path you must take. Okay, that's it. Okay, Social Targona. There is an unusual spring in the succubus's step today, and she has a mysterious smile on her lips that you can't recall seeing before. Oh, Desna, something truly miraculous happened to me. If only you knew. You're beaming with delight. Yes, I've never been so happy before. I used to, and now I'm... No, wait, this doesn't feel right. Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have barged in like that. We need to talk one-on-one. I will be waiting for you at the tavern. Succubus runs off without giving you a chance to say another word. Greetings to you, Knight Commander. The old Inquisitor stands rigidly at attention. Any traces of his past dislike are gone, replaced by overt obsequiousness. Ulrun Shapok, Prelate of Canabres, I have come here at the Queen's command to be at your disposal. I have reinforcements with me, top-notch fighters from Mendev. They have all been personally vetted by myself for trustworthiness, and every one of them is champing at the bit to fight for the Crusade. In addition, Her Majesty commanded me to bring the Wardstone to you. Now you will have 2 of the Goddess's relics in your arsenal, and rightly so, for you saved both of them from the demons. How are things in Canabres? We are gradually rebuilding. The city is not what it was, of course, but it's no longer a pile of rubble either. Goddess willing, with time we will restore it to its former glory. How did you manage to bring the Wardstone here? It's a huge obelisk. For those whose faith is strong, nothing is impossible. Her Majesty taught us a prayer that was given to her by the Goddess's herald himself. We began to pray, and Iomedae worked the miracle. The massive stone rose up off the ground and floated through the air. We made a solemn procession from Canabres to Dresden, unceasing in our prayers, and the Wardstone followed us in all its splendor. Oh, if you had only seen it. What about your plans to expel the priests of Desna from Canabres? I executed my plans. The Desnans are gone from the city. Their temple has been seized for the city's use. It is currently serving as an infirmary. But I did not renege on our agreement. Ramian and his hangers-on left the city unharmed. Are you returning to Canabres now? No, Commander. I am part of the reinforcements. The Queen commanded me to remain in Dresden and aid the defense. What am I supposed to do with the wardstone? That is for you to decide. The Queen's reasoning was thus: the front line of the war has shifted here to Dresden, so there is little point in keeping our relics gathering dust back at home, especially since you single-handedly cleansed it of corruption. So you admit that the storyteller and the Desnans were right, and the stone did carry corruption within it? I confess I failed to see it. Such is the nature of the demonic taint. It can appear anywhere. I believed that the goddess's gift was impervious to it. My faith made me blind. Alas, who among us is without sin? I shall be even more vigilant henceforth. I shouldn't have expelled those blasphemers, but hung them on the rack and questioned them more thoroughly. If they knew so much about the corruption, perhaps I could have uncovered the other pockets of sedition. Interesting. Thank you for the reinforcements. Okay. Alright, so we're waiting for the Queen to arrive and remove the demonic seal, so we have some time to chill. We also need to find Zenedra. And now we need to talk to Arueshalae. And we have to make a decision about Kael'Thas's final request. Okay, I think that forms a crusade event, so let's go and deal with Kael'Thas's final request. Alright, we have six new things to do. Xanthia's experiments, okay. Moves units with a total value of 500. Crusade morale reduces by 20. The commander came across the notes of Xanthia Vang. The experiments they describe are horrible, inhuman, and intriguing. Xanthia used to submit himself and his victims to metamorphosis in an attempt to become a living swarm united by a single consciousness. The commander can repeat the experiments, but at a very high cost. He will have to expose numerous mortals to painful vivisection, not to mention the fact that the commander himself will be subjected to unbearable suffering. No doubt the horror of the procedure will turn many crusaders away from their leader. Furthermore, there is no certain reward for such a venture apart from a better understanding of insect nature and a moderate yet questionable gain in power. The knowledge gleaned from the experiment's outcome will have no practical value. Not yet, at least. Don't think we want to do that, so let's do Heaven's Warriors, as usual. A letter about Kael'Tha. The elf Kael'Tha's last wish was that her friends in Kyonan learned of her story. The commander is the only one who can recount its every detail. Kael'Tha's friends will be thankful to hear the truth about her fate. 50 marksmen will be recruited at the commander's headquarters. The Winter Council wishes to bury the truth about Kael'Tha and the fact that she was turned into a drow by the Dark Fate. The commander's servants can ensure that all traces of her stay in Mendev are concealed. Perhaps the clique of powerful elves will be thankful and see the leader of the crusade as a potential ally instead of as an enemy. The Winter Council will be grateful if the truth about Kael'Tha is hidden. Shadow Dancers. Grand Tier Unit, Spell Casting Unit. Initiative 2, lots of hit points. Shadow Illusions. Master of Assassination, who lurk in the shadows and distract their enemies with fake images sculpted from the shadows. Wow, they do a lot of damage. 1d6 plus 33. Well, we can't do it just yet, but I think because this is a good run, I will honor Kael'Tha's request and send the letter to her friends. Dragons in Care. All dragon units gain druidic upbringing. There is an interesting trophy among the quarry that the commander captured in the Ivory Sanctum, a clutch of woundworm eggs. It is common knowledge that such dragons as a rule are malicious by their nature, so nobody wants to hang around for the evil critters to be born. A group of druids is ready to relieve the crusaders of this perilous treasure and take the eggs into their care. In answer to the question on whether the druids would condition the young dragons to be kind creatures that shun violence and do not eat mortals alive, the druid evasively replied that he and his companions should not get in the way of nature. unit has +2 initiative and +1 bonus to attack and AC, which is decent. There is an interesting trophy among... Okay, Citadel's cook has offered to make a giant omelette such as never been tasted before. A feast for all Dresden will certainly lift the morale of the Crusaders. Okay. So this is just a buff for the Crusade morale. Alright, well, we have to wait a day for this to finish and then we can do the letter about K Lesser. Okay, now we're at the tavern because we want to talk to Arueshalae, if I can find her. There she is. Alright, let's deal with her quest now. You've never seen Arueshalae looking so happy and inspired. She gives you a wide smile. There you are. I can't wait to share my joy with you. Alright, what did you want to tell me? Remember how I told you about Desna leading me onto the path of redemption? I was trying to mock her by corrupting the dreams of mortals, and the great dreamer couldn't tolerate that. She ruined my game and made me spend what seemed like a whole eternity in her realm. I had a lot of time to reflect on my past misdeeds, and when the goddess saw that I had repented, she decided to let me go. I still vividly remember her parting words. And what do you dream about? This riddle weighed on my mind for many years. Demons do not dream when they sleep. We don't have dreams at all. We have desires, and we act on those desires no matter the cost. How was I supposed to find something to dream about? I've been observing the mortals, trying to understand how it all works, and finally... She takes a deep breath and yells joyfully at the top of her lungs, startling every visitor and earning puzzled looks. I had my very own dream. So many years of hard work, I almost gave up at one point, but here it is, a dream. A real dream of my very own. I want to show it to you. You don't mind, do you? Arueshalae offers you her hand. Come, I'll take you to my dream. I can't wait for you to see it. Alright, take me to your dream. Succubus reaches for your hand with her burning fingers, and the world around you fades as you are carried somewhere far away. It is cool and quiet in Arueshalae's dream. The ground is firm and beneath your feet, and thin mist curls along the surface. In the soft, eerie light emanating from invisible stars, you see nothing. As you look around, you see nothing and no one except for you and Arueshalae. Nevertheless, the succubus is beaming with joy. There it is, an actual dream, my very first one. Is this what mortals see every night? Does it look like your own dreams? What do you think? Why is this place so empty? Empty? I don't know, this is my first dream ever. I don't know what it should be like here. Arueshalae looks around, her smile fades a bit. There is nothing to see here right now. Perhaps I was so keen on the idea of having a dream that it made all my other wishes and urges too pale in comparison. Now I have to learn how to dream properly. Arueshalae catches your eye, cocking her head to the side. Tell me, what do you dream about? Victory, glory, power, wealth, peace. What a beautiful dream. When the war is over, we'll be able to... What do you mortals do in times of peace? Do you retire to the countryside to grow apples, I guess, and herd ducklings? Suddenly, a lush green apple tree with a flock of ducks grazing under it appears before you as if by magic. Look, look! Now I have a dream as well, and it's not just something I made up. It's so wonderful, sharing a dream with you. Do you like your newfound dreams? They are the most beautiful thing in the world. This world is mine, and mine only. It's a bit empty right now, but I'm learning fast. I'm happy to share this dream with you. A subtle blush touches the demon's pale skin. Mortals have so many different feelings. Friendship, loyalty, sympathy, even love. They are all so mysterious and beautiful, but one can't truly learn anything about them alone. And who would dare share their heart's desires with a predator from the abyss who is unable to reciprocate. I guess the first option will initiate a romance, or at least seemingly would start a romance. Do not lose hope. One day you will find someone to teach you how to feel. I think previously I said I might want to romance Camellia, but maybe for this run it'll be interesting to have an angel romancing I guess a demon on the redemption path. So that could be interesting to play out. So maybe I will romance Arueshalae. So let's choose this first option. I believe in you. I can help you if you'll let me. Your fingers briefly touch the succubus's heated skin and she anxiously jerks her hand back. Her eyes shine with fear, hope, and something new, fragile and tender, something that makes her look surprisingly like an embarrassed mortal girl. I will. Do you mind me taking a quick look around your dream? Of course, feel free to do whatever you like. That's why I brought you here after all. The ducks are quacking blithely as they graze on a lawn under an apple tree. That's pretty cool. Okay, so it's a smallish island, and I guess over time things will get filled out. My dream, my very own dream. Arueshalae takes another look around, full of pride and pleasure. I don't even want to wake up from it. Now I understand why mortals compare all the best things in their lives to dreams. Let's go back to the material plane. Let's go. Arueshalae touches your hand and the dream world begins to fade away. You open your eyes. It seems that no time passed in the real world while you were in Arueshalae's dreams. So, that was my dream. I'm happy I was able to show it to you. Arueshalae looks at you shyly. It is kind of empty right now, but I know how to remedy that. I need to keep learning from mortals, following in their footsteps until I figure out how to forge my own path. Naturally, I wouldn't even think about breaking into someone else's dream, as the goddess surely wouldn't forgive that. Perhaps I should ask the people of the city. What if they won't talk to me at all? The succubus seems lost in her thoughts for a moment, then she smiles at you again. Is there a chance you could help me once more? Ask the city's people what they dream about. They are more likely to open up to you than to me, and I will just follow you silently. They won't even notice me listening in. Okay, I guess. Let's see. Alright, so we have to talk to all of these people. So, the One-Eyed Devil, Storyteller, Arsino, Hylor, Nura, Claim, Hulrun, Horgus, Vi, Kiat, Irabeth, and Anivia. Okay. Save it here, and let's talk to Fi, since we're right here. I have a question for you, one that might seem strange, but as the commander I need to know your answer. What do you dream of? Fi doesn't seem at all surprised by the question. Well-being, prosperity, and dwarven whiskey. I once had a taste of the stuff they distill under the mountains. Since then, I've dreamed of getting a still like the ones they use, but they're secretive and don't share their inventions. A pity. Okay. Is there anyone else here that we might need to chat to? Probably not, to be honest.
Let us press on.
Alright. I think One-Eyed Devil is here, so let's talk to him. Okay, what do you dream of? When I get rich, I'll retire. I'll go to Taldor and buy a villa by the sea from some broke noble, maybe even buy their title. I'll surround myself with such luxuries that even ancient Taldan emperors will envy me from the afterlife. I'll have a pipe organ in my dining room and have it played while I dine. Oh, and harps and bells. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice movement, but nothing else. Arueshalae has disguised herself very well to overhear the dreams of the townspeople while remaining unnoticed. Okay, let's see what he has for sale. I guess not. Okay, who's next? I think... Oh, okay. Horgus, Halrun, and Kiara over here, so let's chat with them. Alright, Horgus. What do you dream of? I'm well past my prime. I've seen far too much death to be afraid of dying myself, but I don't want to get old. However, if one has enough money, one can bribe time itself. Take Queen Galfrey. I wish I could afford the magic potion she has been using to stay young for over a century. Fair enough. Okay, so we've asked Horgus, One-Eyed Devil, and Phi. What do you dream of? Sighing heavily, the old man's gaze looks over your head into the distance. So many young men and women have laid down their lives in this war. They came here, young and fearless, just to wind up dead, bringing them all back to life. That's my dream. Fair enough. There are rumors going around that the commander isn't just keeping a demon in his party, but he's also been seen paying court to her. This is idle chatter, I hope. Arueshalae has repented of her sins. I'm trying to lead her toward a good moral life. A noble aim, but alas, an unattainable one. That demoness is no repenting sinner. Be vigilant, or else she will seduce and corrupt you. Fair enough. Alright, what do you dream of? What do I dream of? I suppose there can only be one answer. I dream of seeing every damn cultist burn on a pyre, every last one of them. One moment, Commander. Tell me, how much do you trust your companions? I do not doubt that your party has proven itself in battle, but several of its members seem highly suspicious to me. Take that half-elf Camellia, for instance. I have no concrete charges to lay against her just yet, but I have very many concerning questions. If you are not opposed, I would very much like to have a chat with her. Okay. Hasn't triggered a quest as far as I can tell. So it is what it is, I suppose. We might just have to chat with Camellia to see if Halrun has said anything to her. Okay, we can go to the prison now. And we can talk to Nura. To gloat. What do you dream of? I hope a swarm of Vescavors takes over Dresden and feasts on your bones. Fair enough. Let's head off now. Okay. What do you dream of? I'd give everything away to see my lovely little girl Luri again one last time. Fair enough. Okay, Storyteller, Arsino, Claim, and then Irabeth and Anivia. Okay, what do you dream of? I heard there was once a substantial library in Dresden, but the ravages of time and demonic machinations brought about its demise. Pity, it would have been very useful to my current research. Okay, let's talk to Arsino. What do you dream of? That is a rather strange question indeed, but if it's an order, I will answer. There is a saying. One can't win a war and keep their gloves white, yes? I do understand that there isn't much time and energy left for landscaping when you're fighting hordes of demons to death every day. But Abaddon knows how I'd love to see Dresden neat and tidy for just one day. No missing cobbles in the streets, everything sparkling clean, flower beds blooming, all the lawns trimmed, glory and order instead of all this filth. Fair enough. And now we head over to Storyteller. what do you dream of? Oh, I haven't been surprised by a strange question for a long time, especially not when beside you I hear the weightless tread of a succubus who has stepped onto the path of redemption. No wonder she wants to know more about mortals and their dreams. Perhaps my dream will disappoint you, child, and still I will answer. I have to admit I suffer from insomnia. Every night as soon as I lie down, the ghosts of those who are remembered and those who are forgotten stand around my bed. The stories I have gathered swarm in my head. My mattress becomes hard like stone and my pillow ice cold. Maybe if I had a softer bed I would fall asleep quicker, although I suppose it's not about the bed. I found a page that might interest you. Yes, you are right. Another piece of evidence from the past. Thank you. If you find more pages like this, please. Okay. Not enough to trigger a full memory. Alright. Now let's head in, I suppose. We need to talk to Irabeth and Anivia. Okay. Let's ask this one first. During the fight in the Ivory Sanctum, one of the cultists escaped. Her name is Zanedra. Do you know where I can find her? I got no idea, no reports either, although when you think about it, where would you expect one of Baphomet's cultists to hide? I bet anything she's hiding somewhere right under our noses. Besides, those demon-worshipping creeps just love desecrating holy sites. I'd search for her at a nearby shrine if I were you. I guess we'd have to go to that Temple of Good and Evil or whatever that location is called. What do you dream of? What else could I desire when I have my Beth? Anivia thinks for a moment, smiling, then looks over your shoulder and gives a cheeky wink. Arueshalae, quit hiding. You put the commander up to this, didn't you? Feeling shy, are we? Fine. I'll act like I never saw you. So, commander. War's no place to be thinking about wants, needs, yes, not desires. But when the war's over, you mean? Then we'll have a chance to think about something other than just surviving. To learn something other than fighting. You know, when I was really little, I would always hang around the kitchen whenever the cook was getting the fresh bread out of the oven. Big steaming loaves that smelled so good. Maybe it's stupid, but I keep thinking, when the war's over, I'm going to build a big stone oven in my house and learn how to bake bread just like that. Okay. Where is Irabeth now? Hey, what do you dream of? I don't keep secrets from you, Commander. I used to think reclaiming Dresden was a hopeless dream, but now thanks to you, even winning this war seems possible. Still, the victory is our common cause, the dream of the entire Crusade forces. My personal dream is more modest. Putting an end to Baphomet's Templars once and for all to prevent them from invading our ranks and poisoning the minds of our warriors with their deceit. Rearmament is another thing we do well to pursue. Our armor falls into disrepair at an alarming rate, and our warriors' blades are barely sharp enough to pierce the skin of the weakest demons. I understand that Mendev's coffers aren't bottomless, but if we can't order ready-made weapons, I'd be glad to get half a ton of cold iron. Wait, are we still dreaming? A ton of adamantine then, or two. That would be enough for the Templars, the weapons, adamantine, so many wishes at once. Interesting. Okay, so we need to talk to Arueshalae again. So I guess we're going back to the tavern. I asked some of the city's people about their dreams. Is this enough for you? Yes, you can't even imagine how many new dreams I have in there now. Let's go. I want to show you everything I've got. Arueshalae's dream is no longer empty. You arrive to discover an avalanche of voices, scents, and images. The smell of Anivia's fresh bread intertwines with the stench of the Templar's fresh blood from her wife's dream. The bells and harp strings produce the sweet melodies the one-eyed devil wished for. The storyteller's luxurious bed makes your eyelids heavy, and the trimmed lawn on which it stands would have filled Arsinoe's heart with utter joy. You see how many different things are in here? Now I too can dream like any mortal. But none of these dreams are your own. What's the point in collecting other people's reveries? No need to be so harsh. It's my first dream ever. It's a miracle I am able to have one at all. I would never have collected all these dreams without you. Would you like to take a closer look? Feel free to explore my dreams and do tell me if they look like the things mortals dream about. Maybe you'll give me some hints on how to make them better. Pavement is not merely swept clean, it is thoroughly washed with soap. The lawn is trimmed so neatly that not a single blade of grass sticks out. The soft bed is tempting you to have a little rest. The faces of the burning cultists are distorted with pain and suffering. The musical instruments look like they are ready to start playing all by themselves. Okay. The freshly baked bread gives off a breathtakingly savory smell. The rejuvenation potion glitters like a tiny sun trapped in a bottle. The bookshelf is bursting at the seams with numerous thick volumes on arcane theory. Amber-colored liquid with a bewildering aroma is dripping steadily from the pipe of the pot still. This magic weapon was enchanted to eradicate demons. Equipped with this, your soldiers would have carved through the enemy ranks like a hot knife through butter. Daddy, I'm here, I'm alive. Okay. Ooh, that looks a bit scary. Let's check the other stuff first. Whoever killed these Templars, they did it cleanly and without unnecessary violence. The demonic insects are still screeching their delirious hymn to the abyss. We are alive. Praise the good gods, once again we are alive. This carriage is full of sparkling adamantine ore.
I will guide us.
This ravenous greater shadow seems a bit ominous. Arueshalae, my venomous butterfly. Where are you, my darling? We used to be as happy as the canopy of stars. Leave me alone, go away. Okay, you open your eyes to find Arueshalae looking at you wide-eyed. The demon is breathing heavily. Droplets of sweat glitter on a pale face. She does not notice right away that she is squeezing your palm with her delicate burning fingers. But when she does, she turns red and jerks her hand back instantly. I'm sorry, you weren't supposed to see that. I didn't want you to. I didn't even want to see that myself. There's no need to apologize. Dreams can be strange sometimes. I suppose you're right, but I'm embarrassed anyway. That shadow, I wanted to erase him from my memory once and for all. That nickname he gave me, Venomous Butterfly, was the last thing I ever wanted to hear again. I tried to forget all about that and I almost succeeded, but now he's haunting my newfound dreams. Why? Everything was going so well. This must be what mortals call nightmares, right? I guess this is another confirmation that I'm now fully exploring the dream world. But will I be brave enough to enter it again, knowing that he is waiting for me there? There are so many things I still have to learn. Mortals usually find ways to deal with their nightmares, and so will I. Thank you for your help, and I'm sorry that you had to watch that awful spectacle unfold. Now please excuse me, I need some time alone to think about everything I've just seen. Fair enough. Be careful what you wish for. How could a follower of Desna not know about this old saying? The succubus seeking ascension had been eager to have her own dream, and her wish came true in the ugly form of a nightmare. Some might declare this an exquisite mockery by her goddess, but those who have dedicated enough time to unraveling the laws of existence will dismiss the possibility of malice. After all, it is known that irony is a fundamental property of the observable multiverse. Okay, well, I guess this is a good place to end the episode. We've finished off this part of Arueshalae's companion quest. We also dealt with Jerebeth and Forn Autumn Haze, which is nice. Now we just have to wait a day to choose and honor Kayless's final request, so that will be done. And in the next episode, we'll probably head to the Temple of Good and Evil, or whatever that location is called, to look for Zenedra. And then at that point, we're just waiting for the Queen to arrive, and I think we'll have wrapped up everything that we need to before ending Act 3, which is great. Of course, it's possible that we'll get some other thing pop up, but we'll deal with that as they come, if they come. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.